Hey, welcome back to Math You Should Know. It's Mr. S. I'm going to talk to you today about our new unit, which is Chapter 5. We're going to be talking about integers and absolute values and how that works in the real world. But today I just want to concentrate on what integers are. Now, an integer is a little bit different than what we've been dealing with. We've been working with fractions and decimals, which we call rational numbers. And integers, we're going to go back to just whole numbers. But in sixth grade, we're going to talk a little bit more about different types of integers, such as negative integers and positive integers. And let's take a look at a number line that'll help us sort that out. On a number line like this one here, you'll notice right in the middle is 0. We're going to call that our origin, just sort of like we did with the coordinate plane. But this 0 just is where our starting, where we're going to start counting from. And we're going to see that 0 today might take on a whole bunch of different ideas. So 0 is right in the middle. And if I'm going to say I'd like a positive integer 8, I'm going to go to the right. And so I'm going to feel like I'm adding 8. And then there you go, there's 8 on our number line. But if I go back to the origin and I say, well, what about negative 6? Well, I'm going to go backwards 6. It's sort of like subtracting 6 on our number line. And there you go, I identified on our number line the integer negative 6. Let's take a look at some of the work we did today in class. Okay. Write an integer for the situation and explain the meaning of 0 in the situation. Here we have a triumphant question mark Notre Dame team. And according to this, the running back lost 10 yards. Now, if you're not aware of what football in America is like, you hand the ball to someone, they try to go forward, but sometimes they don't, and sometimes they go backwards, which isn't a very good thing. So if here's my football, and the Notre Dame team lost 10 yards, they would go backwards 10 yards back to here. So we could say that the new integer for Notre Dame's loss of 10 yards would be negative 10. And what was 0 in this situation? 0 was where they started. We call it the line of scrimmage, but if you just know that that's where we started, we'll be in really great shape. Let's take a look at another example of something. How about rainfall? Um, let's just say that the rain is 4 inches above what we normally expect the rain to be, wherever that is. Now, please take note that doesn't mean it rained at just 4 inches. It just means that we went up 4 inches from wherever we started. So, our integer in this case, let's move our raindrop up, would be a positive 4 because we went forward 4. And if we're going to explain what 0 was back here, that's where we started counting. Let me give you a real example. Let's just say the average rainfall for, I don't know, July is 4 inches. Well, if it rains 4 more than normal, that will be a total of 8. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's sort of what this chart means. Another look at it with another type of line. Here we have 4 above, and this might feel a little bit better if we just move our raindrop 4 above or up 4. That would mean that our integer now is 4 or positive 4, and the meaning of 0 still remains the same. That's exactly where we started counting. One more example, and this might, let's get to our golf example. Here we go. Here's a golf example. We have 2 people playing golf, and when you play golf, the course tells you about how many strokes it should take you to get the ball in the hole. We call that par. So you might need to know that before we go forward. So let's graph the 4 scores of these 2 players here. We have a -1, which is a good score, by the way, for golf. Very good score. And a +1, which isn't so bad. I wish I could do that. -3, which is extraordinary. Remember, in golf, you're trying to get as low as possible. and a +2, which is more like my scores when I play golf. There you go. I just put on our number line the data -1, 1, -3, and 2. The last part of the question says, explain the meaning of 0 in this situation, which is right here. 0 in this case is par. It's where we started counting. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we did in lesson 1 of chapter 5. We talked about integers, both positive and negative. Please like, subscribe, and please comment too. Let me know how this could be better. Take care, everybody, and good night and good math.